Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another best of 3 here. Today in the bottom left spawning as the blue Terran player playing for Team Psystorm, it is Gumiho. And in the top right spawning as the red Zerg player playing for Team DPG, it's of course Rogue. Gumiho, my favorite meching Terran player. Actually that's not true, every Terran that mechs is my favorite Terran player. That makes Gumiho one of them, because Gumiho does love playing mech every now and again. Recently he's been a bit more keen on getting those bio units out, but he's still a man of odd openers, as we see a CC first for starters here. Command center first at 17, followed by a low ground wall as well. The depot is already on the low ground, and it only makes sense for the barracks to also be placed there. There's a couple of options from here on out. He can play a barracks and go into a quick 3rd CC, or he can go into a barracks and use that barracks to float to kill any type of overlord up here. You can also just get a factory to complete the wall here and play a pretty standard game from this opener. We'll need to wait and see exactly so we know what Gumiho has planned for us. Rogue, on the other hand, sending his first overlord across the map rather quickly. So we'll be capable of figuring out what his opponent is doing, as double gas is the opening build here for Gumiho. Double gas after that barracks, of course, kind of standard if you do open up with the command center first. Back in the day, and when I say back in the day, I mean Wings of Liberty, often we'd see people open up with 3 racks from this type of opener. Because you just have a lot of minerals, you have a lot of money. It feels kind of like a natural transition, but nowadays it's just, I mean, Hellions are just so good. They're almost too good not to build. It makes no sense not to get them. So you see that quick factory being thrown down here. Orbital command starting in the natural as well. You see some heavy investment into the gas mining, as after this first marine will finish up, I can only imagine we will see the reactor go down. And the question is, will we continue gas mining? And so far the answer is yes. There's a lot of cool build orders with these quick double gases in which you keep mining gas the entire time through when you open CC first. And one of them is a double starport battlecruiser. This is a build that we don't see very often, but is a build that's definitely playable. So actually Gumiho is not getting his reactor yet. He started a second marine and cancelled that last second. I'm really curious as to what his plans are here. Is going for a Hellion? And a 3rd and a 4th gas. Okay. What do you got here, buddy? Doesn't want to waste any gas whatsoever on any type of add-ons. That is so cool. This is the fastest 4 gas I think I've ever seen in my entire life. If Rogue gets to scout this, that could be a pretty big deal. Gumiho will see this Ling. He should kill it. That's important because this Ling could move in to try and scout that 3rd or 4th gas. Second starport. Okay, this is actually going to be exactly what I said it would be. This is going straight into that double starport battlecruiser. It could still be Banshee in theory. It's just very unlikely. This amount of gas, though, is actually crazy. I don't think I've ever seen something quite like this. I've seen double port openers from Command Center first. I remember Innovation playing against Raynor on Golden Wall once. It was the first time I ever saw it. I was so impressed by that build order. And if I recall correctly, and I do, Innovation actually went into Bio afterwards. So he opened up with double starport battlecruiser, and his follow-up was Bio. And that surprised Raynor so much, who had built, I think, 17 or 18 queens, that he ended up dying and losing to the bio follow-up from the double port battlecruiser. Now, this overlord is going to scout at least the first starport, and actually also is going to scout the second starport. Also sees the fusion core, so that is it's a triple whammy there for Gumiho. 3 strikes and you're out in America. Luckily this is StarCraft 2 and not America, so Gumiho gets to stay out of jail for a little bit more. Yes, Rogue opened up with a Rochal in here. Now, these roaches are going to be completely useless once these battlecruisers are out. However, there most likely is going to be about, what should this be? Maybe 30 seconds or so? 30 seconds where these roaches have the entire natural base of Gumiho for themselves. There will be nothing there. Gumiho decides to full wall this. He says, hey, I think this is a weak spot. Starts an eBay behind this. I really like this. He does not want to cancel these battlecruisers and start building banshees. So he says, okay, I don't have any units. I can't defend my wall. But what I can do is build a wall behind my initial wall to buy a little bit more time. And even buying 10, 12 seconds is going to be a massive deal here, as that will allow these battlecruisers to pop out. SCVs get taken back, evacuated to the main base. And we see the reactor here, factory and barracks also flying onto the high ground. I'm not quite sure what these two bad boys are going to be doing up there. Reactor probably should be taken out as to delay the helium production, but Rogue for now is just going to move out. These roaches actually force something else. Not only do they force the SCVs being evacuated, the bunker on the high ground, the extra E-base, but they also keep at least one of these battlecruisers at home. Because right now, he can't, with a good conscience, teleport both of these battlecruisers across the map. If Gumiho would do that, these roaches once again would show up and say, ta-da, what's up with the wall? And once again just straight up walk in. And Gumiho right now rushed out 2 battlecruisers to just defend a 7 roach all-in. Or well, not even an all-in, an attack. It's behind this. Rogue has been droning up. It's getting a Spire as well. Following this up with, well, most likely Corruptors. Second Spore on the way. Once that first tank is out, however, all of a sudden 3 battlecruisers will teleport across the map. Ooh, these 2 BCs are going straight behind the main mineral line. I like that he doesn't teleport into a mineral line. This gives him the ability to come as a bit more of a surprise here. Just to fly away if he sees a lot of queens. So Roaches and Ravagers, of course, also will not be capable of doing very much anymore. So the first tank is out already. These BCs killed, I think, 2 queens so far. And 2 drones as well. It's not the end of the world here for Rogue. Also has 4 spores in position. Battlecruiser in the natural at this point. Also takes out a couple of workers. Actually getting more than his 2 mates in the main base. Going to try to run by into the 3rd. Overlord gets taken out. Rogue not in time with the transfuse. Orbital Command is producing workers. This is really scary because the cooldown is not quite off yet here on these battlecruisers. Which means that if these Corruptors pop out and start working on these PCs, there really is some potential here for Rogue to take out all of these battlecruisers. If he would take out even 2 or 3 of these battlecruisers, that probably should be enough. 11 workers have gone down. The worker count isn't as high as it used to be. There's a single Yamato cannon currently available, and there's a 5th battlecruiser on the way. Now, I'm not even entirely sure if Rogue can even fight this, because there is 4 BCs here. If the queens aren't there to assist, 1 Yamato and 1 of the Corruptors, yeah, there's going to be actually more Yamatos available soon. First Yamato goes down, no teleport on this BC. These 2 BCs both have Yamatos available. Also a teleport. Hello, teleport home, teleport home. Oh, he was too slow. 3 battlecruisers have gone down so far in this game. They dealt a fair amount of damage to the economy as well. And Rogue actually on a very low worker count currently. Not the greatest upgrade either. It's going to be a bio follow-up. You've got to be kidding me. 5 battlecruisers into bio. I recall Innovation just building 2 battlecruisers, not 5. Now there's Marines to help out these BCs, but the BCs still are just straight up dying. There's not enough repair here. There's not enough DPS from these Marines to really help out. Roach is being built, and usually I'd say this would be an okay position for Gumiho if he wasn't so far down in supply. Because he does have the correct units. Right now he's building Tank Marine against Roach Corruptor. The Roaches don't have upgrades yet, so a 1-1 Roach attack is pretty unlikely to work, or should be pretty unlikely to work, unless the Zerg is just light years ahead when it comes to that economy, and well, to the army supply as well. And that's kind of just the case here. It's not that Rogue has the perfect army composition, it's just he has so much crap. And in general, a good rule is that a lot of crap beats very little crap, and well, Gumiho's army is crap, but that's just mainly because it's so small. And it's not a lot of crap, just a little bit. Turret here in the natural, turret in between as well. I'm not quite sure why Vikings are being produced at this point. Perhaps medevacs are considered useless here. I do like that Rogue, even though he probably has a timing, went up straight to 80 workers. And is going to play it kind of slow with a lot of Ravagers. Wants to try to bust, but maybe just try to trade a little bit while being on higher eco. Of course, is a completely viable play here for Rogue. Gumiho, wait, building 2 more battlecruisers? This actually is one of the weirdest build orders, but I really like it. I kind of feel like Gumiho got a little bit unlucky in that, first of all, that roach attack really hurt him. And second of all, and yeah, he also got scouted everything, right? Everything got scouted on his side of the map. So yeah, not the greatest start for Gumiho. Still valiantly trying to stay into this game. Fort Command Center is about to finish up. Here comes Rogue, wanting to go for a bit of a timing with 1-1. Just not sure if he's going to be able to succeed here. Bit of timing. Overlord speed. Link speed just now starting, by the way. That is kind of crazy. That is such a late link speed. Missile attacks level 1 and Carapace finally finish up 11 minutes into the game. Gumiho starts moving out but doesn't have combat shield yet, so I would not recommend this whatsoever. This is one of the moves I definitely would not recommend. There's the second battlecruiser about to pop out again. So this is battlecruiser 6 and 7. The good old 7 battlecruiser into marine tank. A very rare move. I don't think I've seen this quite like... I don't think I've ever seen a game quite like this before. I still have extremely little hope though here for Gumiho. It doesn't seem like he's in a great spot. But of course, a large part of the army that Rogue has is complete garbage. I mean, these, 13 Ravagers don't trade well generally against Marines and tanks. Especially if the Terran players up in upgrades. Vehicle weapons is on the way. We're gonna get 2-2 as well. And Rogue is just waiting for his opponent to move out, knowing he can't really attack into this. Hive is on the way, but the Hive is honestly relatively late. Also, a lot of the army supply here for Rogue, let's not forget, is in these Corruptors. And although Corruptors are nice at killing medevacs, straight up engaging into an army is not really their specialty. There is a possibility here, I hadn't expected it, but there is a possibility that Gumiho, if he manages to clear some creep ahead of time, can hit with a 2-2 timing that could be considered dangerous. I mean, 7 tanks, 46 Marines. If you hit a 2-2 timing here, 40 Banelings on creep though. That is a little bit scary. It's going to be more as well. Straight up to 50 Banelings right now. These two BCs teleported about. I didn't even see this. He's saving up BCs teleported in the back of Rogue's base to go in at some point when he pleases. It's a fifth, well, this is the 6th command center is being built right now. As one of these command centers is being used for an orbital. Right now the teleportation is off cooldown on this BC, so it can start flying in if it wants to. Ultralisk Cavern on the way as well. I do like that. Ultralisk Cavern here is a good call. Ghost Academy on the way. Barracks 6, 7 and 8 here started for Gumiho, who soon wants to get into that 5th base. Probably here on the low ground. I like his setup, honestly. And I like that. I really feel like that at every single point here, at every turn in the road, Gumiho made the correct decision. The problem is that his build order, when scouted, just didn't work out that well against what Rogue was doing. Rogue just played perfect, it feels like. He really did. Well, except for this fight. A lot of these Banelings are going to get taken out right now. These battlecruisers are still behind that mineral line. At some point should start flying in. There's no spores anymore in the main base either. All of these spores have migrated somewhere else. Where they are, I don't know. Ravager's actually getting a decent trade here. A lot of the funny thing here is that the Terran barely has any medevacs. These Corruptors actually doing a good job denying the medevac count to ever get too large. I think what Gumiho is doing is he's waiting for his opponent to give up his Corruptors. And the moment these Corruptors get thrown away, sacrificed, that's when these BCs want to start going in. There's another possibility that Gumiho just forgot about two battlecruisers. I didn't really want to mention it, but there is a chance that he teleported them, doesn't have a hotkey on them, and I don't think it's too common for Gumiho either that he has 2 random battlecruisers somewhere on the map, and he doesn't seem to be much of an F2 player, so these 2 bad boys are going to be stuck here for a while. At least that seems to be the case. Chitinous plating on the way as tanks run all the way back. Insanely good engagement though here for Rogue. Coming from multiple angles. Corruptors moving in here. Come the battlecruisers. Start fighting. Trying to take out this Baneling nest. I don't think that is going to be enough though. If this is the move, if he snipes the Baneling nest and then goes for a massive counterattack when there's no Banelings, is this actually the play? Nah, if it wasn't for the Ultralisk, this might have actually worked. Look at this, an entire Zergling army without any Banelings whatsoever. Doesn't tend to trade too well against high Marine count. Not quite sure if the Marine count is large enough though here. There's a lot of Marauders in this army as well. The BattleCruiser still going ham as well. BCs now teleport back home to assist that army. There's just not enough Terran, it feels like. And these Lings, even without the Baneling support, will be capable of cleaning all of this up. Gumiho in a little bit of trouble. When I say a little bit of trouble, I mean he looks freaking dead. 15 minutes into the game, 3-3 finishes up. The Lynx keep streaming forward. And I think Rogue is about to pick up game number 1 here on Glittering Ashes. It is a Zerg favorite map. Gumiho tried to make something out of it, but it didn't matter. Rogue takes map number 1 and will go up 1-0 in this series. Game number 2 is here on Hardwire. And Gumiho immediately switching it up, saying, okay, I tried the greediest build possible, the command center first. That didn't work out. Now let me try my hand at the most aggressive build possible. And I have noticed, by the way, that Rogue hasn't been too keen on scouting 2 Rex positions. So I actually believe that Gumiho could have placed these 2 a lot closer, whether it would be over here or just straight up over here. I think there's a lot of locations in which Gumiho could have placed these barracks that was closer than this. This is great against someone that scouts the entire map with the first 2 Overlords. But for Rogue here, now that these 2 barracks are so far away, Rogue's actually going to be pretty happy with that. Sure, he won't find them, but Rogue also wouldn't have found any barracks that would be placed over here. He keeps his first Overlord straight across the map. Second Overlord he just keeps at home, close to that high ground. I'm really curious to see how he would try to hold any type of proxy Rex that is positioned over here or positioned over here for all I care. Odd little opener that we don't see too often. Gas already being taken here for Gumiho, who now starts his wall on his natural as well. And I like that he immediately kind of changes his wall based on the map. Here, of course, he can build a factory in the wall and then with the reactor actually get a full block off. So I built the first depot straight... Wait, what is this? That is a very far away bunker. Rogue spots that. Probably wants to be pulling some of the workers. I don't think he believes that this is real, though. He thinks it's a fake bunker. He actually believes this is a fake bunker. Now he sees, hey, wait a second. What's kicking off here? He doesn't pull any workers. I've never seen this response in my entire life. Not pulling any workers. Oh, he made the correct call that this is a Reaper. No, what? This is Marine into Reaper. If this was straight up Marine, I actually believe that Gumiho 100% would have won here. But because Gumiho expected his opponent to respond very differently, Gumiho actually is in a worse position. Now, these Lynx all are getting pushed towards the left side. That isn't all that great for Rogue, who ends up losing a bunch of these workers. Reapers will be capable of either delaying that Spine from moving up, or maybe even fighting these Lynx a little bit. Spine, of course, can be outside of the range of the bunker. It's not quite the case here, I think. Nah, it's maybe barely outside of range. Grenades are being used. Is the Spine Crawler being attacked? Not currently. There is 2 SCVs, and I don't really think that these SCVs are ever going to get targeted down. They still have full HP as well. Reaper's trying to move onto the high ground, but Rogue wasn't born yesterday. He's going to get one of them basically immediately. As Gumiho starts fighting this Spine. It's a cute little move, but obviously doesn't matter too much. Whether he starts fighting this Spine, he should just go for the hatchery, I think. There's a lot of Lynx in production right now. 19 Lynx are out already. 8 more in production. Metabolic boost is about to finish up. And here comes Rogue. Good grenade uses here out of Gumiho. Will push away a lot of these Lynx. I just don't think it's going to be enough. What a hold out of Rogue here. Somehow reading that this was going to be the Reaper follow-up. I think this was a pure gamble and he kind of got lucky here. But, I mean, if you get lucky and you win, you're still a winner. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you're a lucky winner or an unlucky winner. The only word that matters is that you're a winner. And he definitely is a winner here. We see a double Marine. This is James Bond and what? Johnny Bond. This is his younger brother. Trying to go for the hatchery snipe, but get caught by an Overlord. I guess the slightly less successful version of James Bond, these 2 guys. It would be a really short movie. Get killed in the trailer. Rogue is, well, at least he's forcing out a lot of repair from his opponent here. These Lynx, of course, aren't going to get in, and once these Hellions finish up, Perhaps Gumiho will be capable of grabbing a little bit of map control. 2 barracks at home already, one building a tech lab, the other building a reactor. I think Banshee will be the most logical follow-up here, so Viking into Banshee here. And will deny his opponent some vision. This was a very poor start once again for Gumiho. He is going to be capable of denying his opponent some vision. I actually believe that Rogue will still see this this Banshee start though. Oh, it's a Raven actually. It's kind of uncommon. He saw something being researched. You saw that? He saw, probably, he thinks it's Cloak. So he should start his Spores right now. But honestly, Spores against the Raven aren't even that bad. Will deny any type of auto turret harass as well. Roach Warren is being built right now. This hatchery is still very low. This is the one weak spot that Rogue has. Is that there's potential maybe. You could see something happening to the hatchery. We could see like a Raven taking this path, you know? And then slowly putting 2 auto turrets here and start targeting down the hatchery. Or perhaps a Hellbat all in. Rogue, however, says, you know what I can do? I can just build 8 roaches and get some aggression out on the map. Does surprise me a little bit. Once again, it really does. This either is a hard counter to a Hellbat push, or it's going to be just a really odd type of roach attack. And if Gumiho actually would have gone for Cloak Banshee, I think Rogue would have been in trouble, no? There's no Spore whatsoever out yet. He's going for roaches. Like, this is absolutely the worst case scenario for a roach player who skipped Spores. Spores are going down right now as the Hellions are trying to fight these roaches. I just don't think there's quite enough. Hellions are moving forward. Auto turret will get taken out. I mean, there's a lot of cars here. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of cars, and cars are generally quite useful. Just a little bit afraid for the wall of Gumiho here. He's building 2 bunkers right at this moment. There's no 3rd command center yet. Gumiho is planning to follow this up with a 3-1-1 tank push. So 3 barracks, 1 starport, 1 factory. If he loses his +1, that would be painful. Needs to send a repair over there. I don't know why this tank is so far on the high ground. That seems like a very conservative tank usage. Very, very conservative tank usage. We have... I'm not even sure what this tank shot at, but does manage to clean up something at least. A couple of balls raining down from the sky. 1-1 being researched here. This is the problem when you're playing against Rogue. Is that often people get in weird positions against Rogue, and then they think, aha, now I got him in my position where I want him to be. But Rogue can really play from any type of position. He can go into 1-1 roaches. He loves playing Lingbane. He's great with lurkers. He can go mutas if he needs to. Like, he'll love playing 2-base muta if you force him into that. It's no problem. He's one of the most diverse Zerg players out there. Where a lot of Zerg players, they feel a little bit wary if they get into these murky waters in the early game against one of these weird build orders. But Rogue just kind of always takes momentum back with a cheeky roach push, or just randomly builds a bunch of links, gets them in, does some damage with them, just quickly tags into Mutalisk. Like, he has such a big toolbox with so many different tools that most Terran players haven't even seen yet. And if they have seen them, then usually Rogue still is more competent at using these tools than the Terrans are at defending them. Now Gumiho is marching across the map here. Of course, without any upgrades on these Marines, it's going to be very difficult to get a successful push going. Tanks are sieging up, but Rogue is already on top of his opponent. Balls raining down from the sky. Tanks get cleaned up, and I think Gumiho is absolutely dead here. 67 workers against 49. Gumiho lifts 4 Marines and 4 Hellions into the main base. But there's a Spore there, there's a Spine there, and there's also 4 Roaches. And just those 4 Roaches would have been enough. Rogue also has these extra units, because that's Rogue. That's what he does best. Now Rogue holds down the Roach button. He has two choices here. Choice number 1 is playing this out in a long game, going up to 80, 82 workers. Or he can just hold down the Roach button at 65 and end the game whenever he pleases. Perhaps Rogue spots a 3rd road to Rome, and it's kind of in between 75, 76 of 7 gases. So you have that potential to go into the 2-2 upgrade, and you still want to deny your opponent's 3rd base with a large Roach count as well. And it wouldn't surprise me if that's what he's going for. So he'll start his 2-2 upgrades at some point, maybe, or he just wants a larger Ravager count with these 8 gases. Yeah, it's going to be 2-2 upgrades. I mean, he just has such a large army lead that attacking into the natural is never going to be a good call. So what he wants to do is wants to get a slightly higher worker count and then play off like 3.5, 4 base saturation. So 70, 75, 76 workers. I really like this. Infestation pit behind this. So there is all the transitions. And as long as he... No, misses it. As long as he can deny that third base, I think he's going to be in a great spot. Doesn't need to really start trying to deny the third. Even if he doesn't deny the third base, he's still in a great spot because he's so extremely far ahead. And honestly, I've seen Gumiho play against lurkers, which is probably what Rogue is going for, and he hasn't looked too hot with his bio against lurkers. So even in a late game, I don't really see much here for Gumiho's. These 1-1 roaches are moving forward. There is 1-1 marines, but not a whole lot of tanks. There's one tank on the natural high ground. These roaches are trying to take out this base. Of course, base can get lifted, but these mules will start running out right now. 7 workers have gone down. 5th base gets cancelled, but the 3rd base is forced to lift, and a lot of these SCVs, mules get taken out. Gumiho taps out, and Rogue wins the series 2-0 here today. Fun, interesting series, new build orders, but none of them really worked out here for Gumiho, and Rogue is just slightly too good, just finishes them off. Finishes off a Terran that is behind. That's what Rogue is known for. Alright, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully we'll see you all next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.